So there's a certain point when you come out with an idea and you're motivated, you're excited to start this thing, to try this thing out. And it usually comes at the beginning. And it gets to a time where you ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is this even worth it? If you do things out there, you have come to this point. I have come to this point so many times where you have to make a decision. You're like, do I still continue on this path or should I pivot? And in the past, I've let myself pivot so many times. And when you do that, you tend to lose track and lose focus and not able to get something done that initially you set out to do. So I came to that point. I'm building out this app and I come to a point and I'm like, I'm not really passionate about this anymore. I was at the beginning. But I'm not gonna make the same mistake I did previously where I would just abandon a project just because I ran out of interest. So this time around, we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna continue on this project until we reach the finish line. Even if we don't hit 100K, at least we have to hit the finish line on this. And I just had to also remind myself that the reason why I was doing this in the first place, this is a feature in a much bigger application that I'm working on. So this is not a time to quit. So today we are going to continue from where we left off. And the rules are still the same. Rule number one is to document all the steps of the journey. That means that we're going to document our frustrations and roadblocks as well. Rule number two is to rely on AI tools. But I think I need to talk about something very important today, which is debugging. I think when people talk about vibe coding, they think you just let AI do all of the work. And if you have been exposed to anything code before you, it's not as straightforward as it might look, especially when they say AI can do all of the work. AI is not there yet. It would make a ton of mistakes. And if you are not willing to be patient and to learn and to what we call debugging and programming, which is actually the most important part of programming, which is finding errors in your code and fixing it. So today we are going to talk about that very, very important subject and learn techniques as to how to go about those when you are vibe coding, when you are building an application and you hit those roadblocks. And thirdly, we got to make some money out of this app. We have a huge ambition on this project, hit 100K, and we are still going to be focused on doing that. So that means marketing, how to put our page out there, how to get users in. All of these we are going to learn out. I've never done this before, so you are coming along on the journey as me when it comes to marketing and getting your product out there and getting people to use it. So that is it, guys. If you are interested in this kind of challenge, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and follow along the journey. See you. So what are we building? We're building a content distribution application that lets you create content one time as a content creator and distribute it to different platforms. That means if you create, let's say, a YouTube video, you can create it one time, or even a blog post, you can create it one time and convert it into a YouTube script, convert it to a TikTok script, Instagram script, and tweets, LinkedIn post, and then distribute it everywhere. This is what we are trying to build here. And so far, we have built a login and authentication using Superbase as our database. We managed to log in, as I will show you in a second. We managed to log into a dashboard, and we have the basics set up already. We have our settings dashboard, brand settings page, everything laid out. And today we're just going to inspect and make sure everything looks good. And then we're actually going to be working on a very important aspect of this application, which is prompt engineering. We're going to learn how to prompt engineer, because converting this into different formats requires some level of prompt engineering here. So we're going to do some basics of that, and I'm probably not going to go into deep today. We're probably going to lay out a foundation, and then next time we're going to maybe solidify it a little bit and make it better. In the next episode, we're also going to learn how to create a marketing page, because that's important. Your marketing page is the entry point to your application. We also have to integrate some sort of a pricing page, and that is not straightforward because you're going to have to integrate Stripe into. I've done this before, and it's not straightforward. So we're going to be learning how to do that. What else? I feel like I'm missing something here, but that's basically what we are trying to do so far, and the road ahead so far until we are finished. So over here on my desktop, what I'm displaying right now is a complementary application that I'm adding to this as well, which essentially is going to help develop. So when you are vibe coding or you're developing in corporate, there's what we call a Kanban, or if you work to corporate, there's agile form of development. And I think this is going to be very important in the area of AI and AI agents. You're gonna want to be able to have some sort of control over tasks that are being created locally, and you're gonna want some sort of remote way to track them. And this is what this is supposed to do. It's not called Vibe Collab. I'll be changing it soon, but it has a complementary. If I go into the homepage very quickly, you can download the CLI, and that the CLI is essentially the complementary to the application. So what the CLI allows you to do is to download it to your code editor of choice. In my case, I use Windsurf. And as you're developing and moving tasks from in progress to done, it would automatically update your dashboard as you code along, so you can have an overall picture. And it's also going to be able to allow you to collaborate with others as well that are vibe coding. Okay, so they can basically download this CLI, and as tasks are being moved from in progress to done, the dashboard is going to get updated automatically. So that is where we are at. And right now I have an empty project open called Content Desk, which is the application we are working on, and it's completely empty right now. And I'm going to just show you a second how we can populate it with tasks. So if I go back to Windsurf, to my code editor, you can see I have 20 tasks created here. And what I'm trying to do here is to download the latest version of the CLI that I'm talking about. So it's npm install, and you want to install this globally, Trackmaster, and you want to get the latest version. So this is just going to download the latest version of Trackmaster. Now if I do let's grab Trackmaster here, you can see on 1.4.44, and just to confirm, we are indeed have the latest version. So the next step I want to do is to sync between the local task and the remote task. As you can see right now, there's nothing in here, but I want to sync the local task to the remote. So what I can do is to do Trackmaster login first, and that is just going to prompt me to log in. Now that I have successfully logged in, I can pick our correct project, which is Content Desk. So that has been selected, and the next step would be to sync between our local and remote. So the way to do that is to Trackmaster sync. Now if we go to our remote, as you can see, we have our projects uploaded to our remote. I see it did not upload everything, but we'll fix that later on. So the next important thing you want to do when programming, especially when it comes to vibe coding, is to have some sort of version control. Version control is so important, even now more than ever. And the way you want to do that is, we have touched on this in the first episode, but I want to touch on that today. You always want to commit your changes to Git. So the way you do that is to do a Git status, and that will tell you what files have been modified and are eligible to be uploaded to your repository. Right now there's nothing here, these are just untracked files, but once we make a few more changes, and you have something working, you want to constantly be uploading to your repository, because when things go wrong, you can always work back to where things were working previously. So it is very important that when you are vibe coding, to always connect it to a repository on GitHub. And if you do not know how to do that, what the first episode where I, after the end of the episode, I showed how we basically set up a repository for this project and uploaded everything to that repository, and also connected our Vercel so that we can send the application live and be hosted, so we can share it with our friends so they can see what we are doing. But I'm gonna touch on this again after we make some changes. But that is number one. So at the moment, this is what our app looks like. Basic landing page, there's nothing here. We are gonna fix all of this later, but let's just log in. So now we are logged in. You can see the dashboard. We're currently not able to create projects yet, but we are gonna fix this. But let's see if we can add information. So my brand. Wow. So one thing we can do to fix the light and dark mode. I know AI isn't really good when it comes to fixing the light and dark mode, but we can give it a shot. So I'm just gonna ask it. So one thing you can also do when things are not happening the way you expect, you can see, you take a screenshot and then provide it and tell it input components and make sure there is proper contrast between text and background. And as you can see, way better. I think it's gonna fix this as well, but this way better. So right now what we can do is, this is a test brand description, and the name of the brand is content test, and our colors are, let's pick purple, and I like this color. And you can upload a logo as well if you want to, and let's hit save and see. So we are saving, and see we are saving. It looks like it's still updating some of the pages. What I want to do is to into our Supabase, go to our table editor, and then go into the brand settings, and there's nothing. That means we are not properly saving everything to Supabase, so we need to fix that. And it looks like I got this one too, so it looks good here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to commit this to Git like we said, so we can make sure we continuously saving our project remotely, so that when something happens we can always go back to where we left off. So I'm just gonna do it, git add, git status again, git commit, and provided a commit message, let's say implemented dark mode only, and then do a git push, and now this is pushed to our remote repository. So now we can start debugging brand settings. So we can say when I input information, it is not saving a database. So this is going to investigate and see what the problem is, and make sure we are properly connecting to Supabase and then saving all of our data there. So I basically copied what the code it gave us here because I couldn't do it here. I'm just gonna set that, and voila, look at that. So let's try this again. Content list to distribute content to different platforms. I'm marketing, and let's pick that. And so the problem we're facing is we already had a table here, and I'm gonna have to find a way to drop this table so that we can use this one that it gave us. So I'm just gonna copy this, and it's gonna fail because we already have this table. But I think what I can do is I can drop this table. Looks like we can't filter. So we do have other things depending on it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run this. It was successful. Still did not add the description, so I'm not sure if this is going to work. Let's try this again. No, I'm just gonna, let's try this again, and that. Let's do this. All right, but let's see something. I don't think it added a description. I'm missing description column in. So I'm gonna have to, so it's gonna give us, we need to alter the table. All right, so we should try this. Now, and now we should have a description, brand description column. Yes, let's go. So that's a platform So how creators distribute. How do you spell distribute? Easily. I'm still going with the same colors. That looks good. And save. Oh, come on. So it looks like we're missing brand name. Should have an alter table. So let's try this. And success. Alright, so now let's try this again. Let's try this. Hey, come on. Alright, let's actually double check to make sure they add a name instead of brand name. Okay, so this is where you're gonna have to learn to debug little things like this that AI just gets wrong. So because it tries to save in the brand name, even though it created a table with the name brand. So I'm just gonna copy this. I think we save the column name instead. Alright, brand description, brand name. Looks good now. So now let's try this. So now we have a foreign key constraint. Alright, moment of truth. Oh Lord. So this is where we need something with a little bit more manpower. So I'm gonna paste back the error, but I'm gonna choose a thinking model so it thinks through the problem a little bit more because it keeps making the same mistake. Alright. Yes, so finally guys, we're able to successfully save into our Supabase. And if we go into our Supabase, into the brand settings, you can see we have a brand new information entered here. So we have made some significant progress. So guys, this looks good. So we are properly saving now. I'm just going to my battery is running low guys, so we are just, and I have really exhausted a lot of time today, so we're gonna cut it here and then continue next time to fix all of the other pages and be able to save to Supabase. I think I didn't anticipate this problem, and I think next time I should be able to anticipate this, and we should be able to move much quicker when we are setting up the other pages to be stored in Supabase. So this is it guys. If you like this video, leave a comment, like below. Till next time, it's peace.